Hey, how's it going, friends? So that intro was done completely on the iFootage Shark Nano. I just wanted to do kind of a fake movie trailer to just showcase some of the things you can do with this. And I didn't want it to be like gimmicky, so I just did some very traditional shots with the slider. So just a disclosure, iFootage did send me this for the review. They're not paying me for the review though, so all my opinions are my opinions, and it's going to be an honest, 100% honest review. I gotta tell you the truth here. So far, I've been using it for a little bit. I wanted to get comfortable with it before I started the review, and so far I have absolutely nothing to complain about. By the end of this video, if I do have something to complain about, that's where you'll find it. So the build quality, it's a solidly built metal chassis with a touchscreen operation. It's actually IPS, and you can like be standing over here and touch it. You can see from an angle, so that's good. It's not really something you would expect from something like this. You're just happy to have a screen, let alone a touch screen that's IPS. So that's really good. It's bi-directional and loopable. 100% loopable. You set your A and B points, and also it's got a 360-degree pan motor, so no additional pan head required. So it's an all-in-one unit to get really good cinematic shots. So that's really, really cool in such a small package. You can literally fit this in most camera cases, so this is gonna make a lot of people really happy for the price especially. As far as powering the unit, you can use USB-C via wallboard, USB-C via external battery, or you can use NPF 550, 570, or 970, which is, they double in size. So this is the 550, this is the 570, and then the 970 is that huge one. This you'll get 2 hours, this you'll get 4 hours, and the 970 you'll get about 6 hours of operation, continuous operation. Now the difference between the regular and the bundle, I have the bundle here, is it includes a bundle of cables, shutter release cables, and so you can use it for time lapses, which is going to be part of my review here. I'm going to do 1 or 2 time lapses here. I actually haven't shot them yet, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do 1 or 2. I'm leaning more towards 2. So that includes a phone holder, which is a very nice holder. You can see it here. It's unlike any other phone holder I've ever seen. It also fits the Manfrotto line of quick release, so you don't need to put an extra plate on this if you're using your phone on a head or on a tripod. So basically they threw this in. It's a very nice phone holder. It's a limited time, so I would suggest if you want this as the bundle to buy the bundle pretty soon. I don't know when they're gonna discontinue including the phone holder, but it is a nice thing to have. So this thing's insanely easy to set up. You don't need to set your A and B points on a phone. You don't need to use a phone at all, but you can use an app called iFootage Moco. I'm going to throw up a little screenshot from their website here, a little video that showcases the app. And you can also record your video with that if you're using your phone to record. But as far as controlling the slider, you can use it or not use it. I find it personally easier to leave one device out of it. I try to control things with my phone as little as possible. At the most, I use my phone as a shutter release for my Canon cameras, and that works out really well. But you can use it or not use it. The glory of actually using the app, though, you can control it in real time. So if you don't want to set A and B points, you can actually just follow something with your fingers on your phone, on the screen of your phone. So that's just insane, and it works really quickly. It's like almost no delay, no latency at all. When you drag and tilt and everything, it's just right there, and you don't need to be insanely close to the device. It it just works. So for the payload limits, this will handle in desktop mode like I have it right now. It will handle 7.7 pounds and it's got 7.8 inches of travel. So when you mount it to the tripod, you have double the distance and it lowers the weight limit to 5.5 pounds. So you just got to be careful about your lens choices mainly. Like right now I have a 50 mil on. Some of these I will be definitely using my full setup, which is the EOS R and the 16 to 35 mil f4. So that's not really a heavy camera setup, but you just got to be a little bit careful, especially in vertical mode where it's 4.4 pounds, it drops again, and it's also 7.8 inches of travel. But when you mount it to a tripod, you have 15.7 inches of travel. So that's roughly twice the amount because of how the bottom bracket here connects. It stays stationary and the entire unit moves versus when you have a tabletop like this, it's just 7.8 inches of travel. So you double it by putting on a tripod. So basically you just need to make sure you have a very sturdy, solid tripod, you have everything tightened up and locked down, and it will just get you amazing shots, and it's just really, 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 really cool. One thing that I found is really cool about this is the 3/8 threads recesses as soon as you sit a 1/4 20 on it. So it's spring loaded. I don't know if you can see that, but it's spring loaded. So no matter what you put on it, whether it's 1/4 20 or 3/8, like what we have here, no matter what, it just automatically adapts to it. So that's really cool. So what I'm gonna do first is just mount the fluid head, the fluid video head, and they do recommend a fluid video head so that you can center your camera over the device. So like sort of like you're balancing the camera across the center line here. So depending on what lens you're using, that's gonna change. It's gonna move forward and back. But you just mount your head on here, and you push in the lock to make sure it's tight. There's a lock right here. I'm just gonna turn this. There's a lock right here that you push in, and then you can tighten your head, make sure it's nice and snug. Then you put on your camera and move it to the line that you see on the plate to make sure it's centered. So I'm gonna lock it down, make sure it's straight, and you just hold down until you see the screen, let go. It'll do a little auto calibration, and then it'll ask you to make sure that your camera is pointed straight ahead at this angle. So basically just make sure that it's pointed straight ahead so it can calibrate properly, and then press confirm. Then to get started with a nice video slide, I hit quick start and hold down both the power and the function buttons. We got our A point. I set the point and then move the slider, hit the B point, click confirm, then stand by, and then it moves back to the A point. Then I select the time. I'm gonna make this 10 seconds to make it nice and easy. Then all I need to do is hit start. And if I want it to loop, I can click loop. If you have it plugged in, it will keep going forever. So now just to show you how quiet this really is, this is kind of extreme, but if you have a mic on top, it's going to definitely pick up. So I'm going to put it on top camera for more of a realistic situation, even though this is an omnidirectional mic and it kind of picks up everything around it. And then I'm going to hit start to show you how quiet it really is. This room is dead silent. There's nothing else in this room making sound, so I'm going to try to stay really still. Now I'm gonna put the mic right up to it, right here, so you can hear close up, which your ear would never be there, but if you have an ultra sensitive mic, this is what you need to expect. So I'd really like to thank iFootage for letting me review this. I've been using multiple different sliders, but manual sliders. So the ability to set this up and kind of just have it do its own thing is a godsend for me, because it means I will actually use the slider for things I normally wouldn't have, because I don't have to think about it after I set the A and B points. I really don't have to do anything afterwards. So thank you, iFootage. I showed you some test footage. I showed you the ins and outs of it and how easy it is to use and set up. So now for the verdict, I can't really fault anything. At this price, I'm not gonna say it, I'm gonna fly it up on the screen. At the current price for the bundle, you can't really beat it. There are a lot of other companies that are actually more well-known that you would never even touch a device like this for this price. I don't have any cameras with built-in IBIS, but they even recommend it too. Turn off your IBIS if you're using the slider, and sometimes that even helps. So I've read that even helps with gimbals. Basically, IBIS is really good if you're run and gun and handheld, or you have a rig, it's really good. But the movements and stuff, when it gets to each end, the IBIS kind of does a jerk. I've watched some other problems with IBIS and sliders and gimbals, and it's just, they don't seem to mix well. However, lens stabilization, this doesn't have it, but the rest of my lenses do. It didn't have any issues with it at all. And I tried on and off and really didn't notice any difference in the footage. Just like I always leave IS on the lens when I'm using a gimbal to just iron out the little micro jitters. So basically, I don't really have any issues with this slider. It's a great tool. If you're in the market for a motorized slider, it is actually like you have a second person, especially if you're using two cameras at once. It's like you have a second person shooting for you, because it's doing the movements for you. Because no one's holding it, there's no real issue with shake as long as you set up your tripod properly. So like, especially for vloggers or anybody that films themselves, it's a great option to have, and it makes for much less stagnant footage. So you can't really go wrong. So I've been using this for about a week, and I did one professional job with it other than this review. It's a cycling podcast where I just set A and B for just your regular back and forth, kind of, you know, just keeping it more interesting shots. And I'm gonna throw that up on here, but it seems to be almost flawless. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe and tell your friends. And remember, create, share, repeat, and keep it awesome. I'll see you next time.